Dear Anthony, this time out we're going to discuss touring and the road. It's something I have a lot of experience in, but it's not something to be taken lightly, but it can be very rewarding and enriching. So first thing I want to tell you is everybody wants to go out on the road and let's go to Europe, let's go wherever and play, even if it's in the States, let's just go play. Well, you can't just go play. If you don't have a booking agent, what you need to do is do all the work yourself, which isn't a big deal really. You can just get in touch with the clubs directly. They'll always have someone who handles booking and that sort of stuff. But most of the time, if it's not in your area where you already have a following, the first question is going to be how many people can you bring in? That's a problem, right? So my first recommendation would be to build up a following in those areas. One of the ways you can do that is by networking and reaching out to other bands like yours, whatever type of music you do, and touching base with them and saying, hey, when you come to Florida, we'll get you a gig, we'll do a double bill. How about helping us out? We want to come play your town. Of course, getting them your music first or trading music with them and getting to know each other first is always a plus. And that's where the internet is really, really great. So reach out and do it. It's never been easier to do that. Now, going to Europe is a whole nother thing because they're going to want to know, do you have a record out? Is there a record label? Or how are you promoting it? So there is another way, another avenue for you to start networking there. But slowly, I would start slowly at first, building up some credibility with people, getting them to know who you are, maybe sending them some music for free and not worrying about touring there for a while. But every time you do something, send them the music, tell them what you've been doing if you've been touring in the States and how you go about that and what your average audience is, that kind of thing. That will go a long way. Having a record, yes, that's a big deal. Having a record that's available in their region is a big deal. So that said, let's go back to in the States. So for a while, you're going to be getting in a van with the band, with all your gear and traveling. You're going to want to share the road duties of driving so that nobody gets too tired, because safety is the number one important thing when you're out there. You want to have a reliable vehicle. You want to make sure that vehicle's maintained, right? Right. So make sure your tires are good, your oil is changed, it runs well, because getting stuff on the road fixed is very expensive. It's a pain in the ass. It's no fun being stuck on the side of the road, and you might miss your gig. So make sure you share the driving abilities and make sure everybody has a valid license. The car, the van is in good shape. And whatever you're getting, you better budget really carefully. Like maybe you're not getting any money at first. Maybe this is just an out-of-pocket thing. Budget, 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 budget. Whether you sleep in the van, probably in the beginning you're going to be sleeping on couches of people your own age, of other bands, of fans you might have reached out to. And that's another thing you should do is when you're going to play a place, reach out to people on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter who like this kind of music. Spend the time well beforehand reaching out to people and networking with them. So you have a couch to sleep on, whether it's another band or a fan or the promoter, whoever. You got a place to crash and budget so you have enough gas money to get to the next place. When you step up to the next level, you're going to be staying in hotels. You may be flying. Semantics don't really change that much. You still need to budget. You still need to have your stuff together and plan, 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 because you're going to run out of money. You're going to be dirty. You're going to get sick. Bring cold medicine with you on the road, especially if you go to Europe, because they don't have the strength of cold and flu medicines that we have. They're much weaker. So if you plan to keep going and do the show, bring that stuff with you. If you do stay in hotels, here's a suggestion. It's really smart to stay in the cheapest hotel you can get. Right? Right. But if you plan well enough in advance, you can get hotels that serve a decent breakfast. Now I'm going to show you a clip here of the hotel I stayed at in Norway, which wasn't really more expensive than any other hotel we looked at, but they had a massive spread. Take a look at this.
Yeah, so this is what you want. You walk in, you have all kinds of healthy Norwegian cereals, little add-ons, yogurts. They have the best yogurts. Yes, and fruit, something our family does not know about. Yogurt drinks, vegetables, even fruit shots. Very good, by the way, except for the ones with Philly cream cheese. Lots of breads, fish, cheese, cold cuts, and then your eggs, bacon, and sausage. Norwegian pate, awesome but deadly probably. And then some more stuff. And hard-boiled eggs. Oh, and more over here too. Yeah. So, there you go.
Right? I mean, there's everything there. There's everything there to eat well and to even eat healthy if you want to. What we were doing, and we've done for quite some time, is loading up. Overeating, which is something I hate doing, but eating smartly, like making sure you have your fruits and your veg and your proteins and your carbs, so that you only have to eat one other meal a day. And that's where that hotel, which didn't cost more than any other hotel, even becomes more affordable. You dig? So think about that. Another tip, get an airline credit card. This is when you go up to the next level where you're not driving around in a van, but it's good to start now. Get an airline credit card. Put every bloody thing you need to pay for in your everyday life on that card. I'm serious. Stuff you can pay off right away, I might add. So for instance, I needed a new water heater. It's a few grand. Boom, on the card. Then I've got 3,000 miles on the airlines. Needed the HVAC system fixed. Boom, there's $5,500 on. So there's 8,000 miles right there, right? Okay, everything, gas, food, everything. And especially with gas and food, you make sure your daily, everyday things, you can pay it off right away. Hell, you pay it off the next day if you're smart, so you're not getting charged interest, but you're getting the miles. And you'll be surprised how fast those miles add up. At the end of a year, at the end of every year, I have like at least 1 or 2 free flights to Europe on my cards. So don't do it frivolously. Make sure you can pay for it, but put everything on a card that gives you something back, whether it's cash back or miles. I prefer miles because I fly a lot. I want those miles. I want those free flights. Okay, so that's another tip. The great thing about the road is building relationships. You're building relationships with fans. You're building relationships with other musicians. I strongly urge you to get on, if you're not already, on forums online to share music and share thoughts and gear ideas and approaches and whatever. Find your little niche and there'll be a forum somewhere and bond with those people. That'll help to not just further your career and expand your audience, but create new friendships, give you other opportunities for touring and exploring places. New friends. It's all about meeting people, because at the end of the day, what are we doing, right? We're playing music. We're playing music because we love it more than breathing, and we want to get out and play for people, but we want to make new friends. Like, that's what life's about. You don't, that great, there's this movie I love with Raul Julia. He gives this great speech written by the great screenwriter Robert Towne, where he's like, you don't choose your family. You're born with your freaking family. The only thing you choose in life are your friends. So choose them wisely, but expand your palette and make new friends. And you can do that on the road by sharing, comparing, bonding, learning. Okay? For instance, I just went to Norway, played this festival in this awesome mausoleum, believe it or not, for the Norwegian painter Vigeland. His ashes are above the door when you walk in, this massive mausoleum that he closed off all the windows and doors and painted the whole thing, ceiling to floor, everything, and because he knew that was his last thing where he was going to get buried. And the coolest thing is it's got like 18 seconds of reverb, and it just swells in there. And so we played in there. These are people I met in an online forum and bonded with. Loved it. I'm going to show you a little clip of me playing the mausoleum where there was only these little footlights, and it was amazing. Take a look at this. So we had a great time. Everybody played, everybody sat in the audience for everybody else. We ate together, we hung out together, we had a great time. That's what it's about, and that's what you want to do. Okay, another tip, pack lightly. Seriously, the airline have weight restrictions. Everybody overpacks. It's the stupidest thing in the world because you have to carry that crap. And the weight restriction. So if you have a pedal board, maybe you can take that on board the plane. Maybe if you're some airlines, not British Air, not freaking British Air, you can't take a freaking guitar on British Air. Anyway, but most airlines allow you to take a guitar on the plane if it's in a gig bag, most, but maybe you want to be safe and check it. Well, if you check it and you already have one bag, that's $70 to $100 to check it, so that's something to be considered. Almost every airline has that charge. You also write your luggage, again, to get back to the luggage, it's got to be under 50 pounds. So pack lightly, bring a suit. Don't bring a huge suitcase. I see people with these huge, that just gives you more opportunity to overload them with weight. It's silly, right? So bring 5 t-shirts, make them all the same bloody color, get black t-shirts. I'm not kidding. Get black t-shirts, get black socks, get dark clothing. You can wash your t-shirts when you're on your 4th t-shirt that day. Wash the other 3 so that you still have a clean one. So it still gives you time to wash them in the hotel sink or your friend's sink or bathtub and hang them up so they have enough time to dry. Like in Europe, a lot of homes don't have dryers because they don't really use dryers. Not maybe more so now than in the past, but still I go to a lot of places that don't have dryers. It's just not, de rigueur over there like it is in the States. So you can wash your stuff, hang it up, wash your socks, hang it up, wash your underwear, hang it up. Because you're not always going to get a washing machine. If you get a washing machine, great, but you're still not going to always have a dryer. So pack lightly, make it stuff that's like wash and wear that you can wash yourself and take with you. Don't bring a lot of crap. Don't worry about it. Just pack weather appropriate and pack slim. Keep it as tight and as minimal as possible, because trust me, when you're hauling all over the place, even if it's here in the States, you don't want to be carrying all that crap, okay? So that's very important. Yeah, it's just about sharing and caring and, bonding with people and just getting out there, man, and sharing your music, sharing the love and letting it flow, man. That's all you got to do. The rest will take care of itself. Keep an eye on your stuff. Do not take your eye off your gear. It will disappear. Trust me on this. At all times, do not be distracted. Sometimes people don't mean to distract you. Fans, other bands, you start talking, you're happy, the adrenaline's flowing after the gig. Keep your eye on your shit. You don't want to lose your stuff on the road. It's be a pain in the butt, right? Right, okay? Bring a couple extra set of strings, make sure you have enough picks. Oh, get your sleep. Yeah, it's fun to go out and party, but listen, you have a show the next day. You can't mess around. Get your sleep. Do not mess around. I know everybody wants to hang out, have a good time, say, excuse me, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I got to go to bed because we got a show and we got to travel 4 or 5 hours, and then we have sound check. You have to think of all these things. Get your sleep. Do not be distracted about that, because it's going to affect your voice if you're singing, or even if you're just playing. It's going to wear on you over the course of a tour. You have to sleep. Do not disregard that. Sound check, you want to get there on time. You want to be nice to your sound person because they're responsible for how good you sound. You can make suggestions. Be kind and be thoughtful and be polite with them. And maybe there's kind of a template for how you guys sound and you got a pretty good beat on that. Just share that nicely with them, and they'll 90% of the time will be glad to work with you because it'll make their job easier. Treat the staff well at whatever venue you're playing. You don't want to be known as the assholes who came through town and treated everybody bad. Kindness, it goes a long way. So it's very, very important. So those are the basics, I think. Sure, I'm missing some stuff, but like I say, put it down below, ask me any questions, and I'll be glad to. Oh, one more thing. Enjoy the places you go to. Do not lock yourself up in the hotel room all day, playing video games, or sleeping all day when you've gotten enough sleep, or, whatever, playing on your phone. Get out and see the city you're in. It'll be fascinating. Believe me, you'll learn things. You'll meet more people. But more importantly, you get out and you get exposed to the world and you see new places and you understand the communities you're in, the places you're in, the countries you're in. This is very important. That's all part of the sharing process. So do not stay in the hotel room until sound check. You've got plenty of time from when you wake up in the morning to sound check. Go out and walk around the city. Go ask what you should see from the hotel staff or your friends or the promoter. Look that up beforehand. Check out all that stuff. There'll be interesting things, believe me, in every place you go to, and it would really behoove you to check that, just to get out of the hotel room for one, but to check that stuff out and learn about the city you're in and meet other new people and explore and enjoy And it'll also clear your head and get last night's show out of you and calm you down and get your head straight for the next show that night. It's a really good thing. So that's it. I hope you got something out of this. Again, ask me questions below if you have any. Let me know. I got a lot more stuff to share with you in the coming week. So rock hard and rock long, my man. I'll talk to you later.